Hi everyone and welcome to the Timeless History channel with me, Deric aka Sal, the Omega Enthusiast. This is Watch Review episode 4, where I will present 8 more watches you can consider owning this year. Even if you're not interested in any of the pieces, you can always shop for watches from one of these companies. As a watch enthusiast and watchmaker, I will only show you good quality timepieces. One piece of advice is not to just prioritize your focus on the brand name, but to concentrate on the overall condition of a timepiece. Without further ado, let's begin this episode. If you enjoy content like this, after watching this video, links to the previous 3 episodes are in the description box below. Watch number 1 is an interesting Benrus direct read jump hour watch from the 1950s called the Dial-O-Rama. The many dial variations make these Benrus highly collectible in the vintage watch market and a must-have for jump hour collectors. It is an enjoyable and mesmerizing watch to wear and look at. The rotating octagram star in the center makes it hard to take your eyes away from, but it helps relax your mind. The chrome-plated case measures 33.3 millimeters across, excluding the crown by 40.4 millimeters from lug to lug. The case back is stainless steel and the lug width is 18 millimeters. It is a manual wind watch with a jump hour features, so the hour jumps to the next hour every 60 minutes. Benrus was founded in New York in 1921 and is still in business today. I'm a fan of their 1940s Sky Chief collection. In the description box below, I will leave links to a video I made on the Sky Chief and a website with more significant details on the Dial-O-Rama. In 1947, Vulcain watches launched the Cricket, the wristwatch that rings, one of their most iconic watches until this day. Watch number 2 is a first-generation Vulcain Cricket with a less common dial variation. It was the world's first alarm wristwatch and is a highly collectible vintage timepiece. When it comes to wrist alarm watches, nothing is louder than the Vulcain Cricket. The watch is powered by a Vulcain caliber 120 manual wind movement. The case reference on this piece is 412346. It measures 34 millimeters across, excluding the crown, by 42.8 millimeters from lug to lug, and the lug width is 18 millimeters. Unlike later wrist alarm watches, this watch has a unique winding feature. There is only a single winding crown, which, when winding in the clockwise direction, will charge up the alarm mainspring, and winding in the counterclockwise direction will charge up the regular mainspring. Watch number 3 is a mid-1940s vintage Breitling chronograph watch in 18K rose gold, under reference 775. Breitling is a brand with many firsts, such as developing the world's first automatic chronograph and the Navi timer model, which some consider the first smartwatch. Breitling was first introduced in 1884, and their most recent acquisition was Universal Genève, which was breaking news for the watch community. Breitling is famous for their chronograph watches, but I am not a huge fan due to their busy dial. However, when I saw the case design of this watch with the step bezel and lugs, I had to purchase it. The one thing I learned about these older Breitling chronograph watches is that their case and movement are unsigned, so you'll need to know a few things to authenticate whether the watch is original or not. There should be a serial number on the case back, which also helps with dating the watch. The chronograph bridge has the shape of a V instead of a U. For example, the movement inside this watch is a Venus 150 caliber, and here's a picture comparison to show the difference. This Breitling measures 35.5 millimeters across, excluding the crown, by 42.6 millimeters from lug to lug. The case lug width is 18 millimeters. And of course, the personal engraving on the case also helps authenticate the watch. Here's a vintage Cartier Pre-Must produced from 1973 to 1976 under reference 25716. It was part of a small collection released transiently, making it a collectible timepiece today. The unique triple step over case gives this watch that classic, distinctive Cartier look. This Cartier is also an excellent match for someone with an eccentric fashion style. Due to their tiny case design, a vintage Cartier is not made for everyone. It is suitable for someone with a small wrist like myself or a brand enthusiast. The gold-plated case measures 27.6 millimeters across, excluding the crown, by 27.6 millimeters from lug to lug. The case lug to width is 17 millimeters. I still need to order a new crystal as the current one is heavily scratched. The Roman hour markers are gilt, meaning gold printed on. Of course, a Cartier is not complete without its original capuchon crown. Not to mention, this is a manual wind watch. Watch number 5 is a classic 1950 IWC International Watch Company timepiece with alluring Bombay lugs similar to a Rolex reference 6090. I always say that if you cannot afford a Patek or a Vacheron Constantin, one of the best replacements for a fraction of the cost is an IWC watch. It is an underrated and undervalued brand. If you're looking for a top quality watch brand, IWC is definitely on that list. Aside from their well-made cases, they also produce one of the best movements. The steel case measures 33.3 millimeters across, excluding the crown, by 41.6 millimeters from lug to lug. The case lug to width is 18 millimeters. The original crown is unsigned. The manual wind movement is an IWC 89. If you are a watchmaker, you know the exceptional quality and how well constructed this caliber is. Of course, owning a timepiece with its original papers is always fantastic. It appears that this IWC was sold on November 11, 1957 and received its first service on May 25, 1962. Watch number 6 is a classic 1968 vintage Bulova 666 skin diver watch, or some collectors call it the Devil Dive Watch, under model reference 386-4. Bulova is also one of those brands that makes excellent quality timepieces at an affordable price. So if you're looking for a quality dive watch at an affordable price, consider this timepiece for your bucket list. It's an amazing looking timepiece and the bezel rotates as well. The case measures 35.3 millimeters across, excluding the crown, by 43.3 millimeters from lug to lug. The case lug to width is 18 millimeters. The automatic movement is a Bulova 11AL ACD caliber with 17 jewels. It's essential to purchase this watch with its original sign crown. The beauty of this timepiece is the prominent hands and Rolex Explorer style dial markers, which are important features for a diver. The following piece is a vintage Certina Bristol 230 watch, dating to 1970, under model reference 7001-230-5. Certina is a great brand for anyone new to the hobby and looking for a timepiece within a low budget. It is definitely one of those brands that makes quality watches, but it is profoundly undervalued. The simple look of this piece with those applied out markers makes this watch truly attractive. The case measures 34.4 millimeters across, excluding the crown, by 40.3 millimeters from lug to lug. The case lug to width measures 18 millimeters. The manual wind movement is a Certina caliber 28.10, just as great as a 1970 Omega 601 movement. Certina innovates its in-house movement, so you know it takes its craft seriously. With the proper care, this watch will last for many more decades without any issues. The last piece in this video is this stunningly attractive 1930s chronometer Movado watch. My soft spot in collecting watches is spotting a piece with a nice Breguet dial, just like this one. It is my favorite type of dial. Vintage Movado made some of the nicest timepieces until its downfall after the 1960s. While Breitling claims to be the first watch company to develop an automatic chronograph, Movado, in collaboration with Zenith, claims that they are the first to create an automatic chronograph known as the El Primero. Please share below if you know the history behind who made the first chronograph automatic. This rectangular Movado case measures 22 millimeters across, excluding the crown, by 40 millimeters from lug to lug. The case lug width is 17 millimeters. The manual wind movement inside this watch is a Movado caliber 440. You'll find the 1930s is a decade of rectangular and square wristwatches. And as always, I hope you have learned something new. Comment below your favorite piece in this video and share a watch brand you own or like. It may get featured in a future episode. If you enjoy learning more about vintage watches and content like this, consider subscribing to this channel. You can always support my work on Patreon. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the following video.